Greetings everyone, it's time to connect with Caroline again. Where were you when the world celebrated history on June the 8th, 1990? Did you witness the David and Goliath story repeat itself on this date? Where were you? What were you doing? Oh la la. Personally, I witnessed this date. I was still a child, a young girl growing up in secondary school, and I remember, the reason why it really resonates within me is because this date, the event or the occurrence of this date gave me a new perspective in the sense that my father, who is not he's not a sentimental person and not an emotional person, doesn't show that. Not that he doesn't love his kids, but doesn't show that in any form. But the event of this date made me to see the soft side of my dad to the extent that he did something. I'm going to go back to that. I'm going to come right back to that point about my father and what he did in regards to this date. But I can tell you, Italia 90, that era in soccer, when days of Maradona, Diego Maradona, when you hear Diego Maradona is on the field, you go crazy. Sometimes we say, you know what, there is no team that can ever beat Diego Maradona's team. There's no team that can ever beat Argentina with Diego Maradona as their captain, you know? And so in the 80s, 90s, many nations, many national teams had their goal to beat Diego Maradona and make history. Italia 90, oh my goodness, I can remember that song that they used to play. I know when I was young, I didn't even know it was sung in Italian, and we just sang along. Whatever you heard is how you sang the song. So we used to, oh, nothing but today, it's a while ago, so to chare, ubesare my life, iniwatira. Remember that sound?
Forse non sarà una canzone a cambiare le regole del gioco, ma voglio viverla così questa avventura e sciogli in un abbraccio la follia. Notti magiche, inseguendo gol, sotto il cielo di un'estate italiana, e negli occhi tuoi voglia di vincere, un'estate, un'avventura di più.
That sound, oh my goodness, that sound brought the emotional part of my dad out. My dad actually, in those days, I think they were still using cassettes. My dad actually ordered for, oh my goodness. This is somebody that when you play music in the house, he just finds where you are and says, stop it, you are too noisy, you're disturbing me, I want to rest. But this man, my dad, actually traveled and came back with a cassette. And in this cassette, they had this song in it. This is a 60-minute cassette, and my dad taped this song from beginning to end. So whenever, if you want to know that my dad is home, just hang around our house and you will hear that song playing. That's how we used to tell if he is home or not. He will play this song from morning to night. because he just so loved it. I don't know what that song did to him, but definitely I believe that it's just the occurrences, the events of that day that made him to just attach himself to that song so much as a reminder of actually what happened. Yes, parents even named their kids either Diego or Maradona in those days when Diego Maradona was Diego Maradona, unbeatable, right? Unbeatable. And this changed. This changed on June 8, 1990, and guess what? The best part of it for me is that that's my birthday. Yes, that's my birthday. It was the best birthday present that I ever had. And you know, in those days we never really celebrated birthday, so it didn't really resonate in me until when I grew up, and then in fact, when I became a woman, that's when I really noticed, oh, wait a minute, Italia 90 actually happened on my birthday. Yeah. So after several attempts from so many nations who wanted to beat Maradona, Cameroon, a small nation, suddenly gained international fame. An extraordinary occurrence suddenly happened when a giant was brought down by a small nation. So the Cameroon national team, under the leadership of Captain Steven Etatator, defeated Argentina under the leadership of Maradona 1-0 in the quarterfinals of Italia 90 World Cup. Now, mind you that Cameroon, the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, did not even qualify to go to the World Cup, the Soccer World Cup, in the previous year, 1986. They did not even qualify to go there. And during this 1986, Diego Maradona actually won the Golden Ball in Mexico. He was the man of the match, Golden Ball winner of 1986 World Cup in Mexico. Cameroon did not even qualify to go there. Then, the very next season, which was the Italia 90, that's when Cameroon, who did not even attend the previous World Cup, came there, fought and tried to beat that record that every other African nation had tried to beat as well. The first African nation to ever reach the quarterfinals was Cameroon. Of Cameroon was elevated. Everybody was so proud. We became known around the world. Everybody was talking about Cameroon, the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, and Steven Etatato and Roger Milla, right? Everybody was there. The prestige was high, and when we walked around, even after many years of this occurrence, celebrated for years this victory over Maradona. And when we travel, sometimes somebody asks you, where do you come from? We responded to this question, or we still respond to this question by asking another question. So if somebody asks you, where do you actually come from? The question is, or our response is, do you love soccer? If they say yes, it's the same answer. If they say no, it's exactly the same answer. So if they say yes, you say, well, I come from that country where that country that beat Maradona in the Italia 90. And if they go, oh yeah, Roger Milla, yes, Roger Milla, under the leadership of Steven Etatato, country that defeated Argentina in Italia 90, that's the country where I come from. The pride was so high. We just associated ourselves with that because it was just a beautiful feeling inside. That's how we responded to that question. Either way, it was the same thing. That country that defeated Maradona, that country that defeated Argentina in Italia 90. Oh yes. And so under the leadership of Mr. Steven Etatato, everybody knew them. And you know, when a nation has this kind of celebration, this kind of thing, when that team is coming back home, there is this chaos everywhere. And it was the same for that country. Everybody came out, welcomed this team. And then I grew up and I became a teacher, and I was just so opportune to meet the Stephen Tato. And during that time, oh my goodness, I came to know this man as a humble, gentle, quiet man who is so respected in society and even reciprocates the respect. A respectable man you are. And so today we are celebrating your departure. It was pride for me to know you as somebody. After watching you on TV, after knowing that you gave us all this pride and nationwide, that we could stand somewhere and talk and quote ourselves as from Cameroon because of Italia 90 under your leadership. I remember when teaching your child in the then Cameroon International School, Bastos Yaoundé. Such a man with pride, with humility, with honor, respect. You had it all. And I will say today, a legend has bowed out of the stage. But I want to assure you that the legacy you left behind created an impact, not only in your country, but in the entire world, because we will always remember you for what you did. We will always remember you as that African captain who took his team to the level of quarterfinals in the Soccer World Cup, Italia 90. We cannot forget that. We cannot forget that you've planted your legacy everywhere. And even after you retired from soccer, you continue to support other people to make sure that they also tapped from the skills that you had as a soccer player, as a team member, as a captain for the Indomitable Lions. And so, Mr. Stephen Tato, we will assure you, the seeds that you've planted, they are growing. The seeds that you planted, even the children that you left behind, they are going to make sure that they continue or they carry on your legacy so that we don't forget you, because we will never forget you. And so in humility, in honor, I say, adieu to Captain Stephen Tato. May your legacy live on.